Hi, I'm Belinda Cipriano here for communitynews.com.au. Now, I'm pretty excited today because I'm back here at my old stomping ground, Phoenix Primary School. The school is about to celebrate its 40th anniversary, and I'm here to speak to the man who's been here from the very beginning, Sir Ronald Addison. Now, we're going to talk about how things have changed, where to next, and the upcoming party that's happening in October. Well, let's go in and have a chat with him now. Okay, so I'm here at Phoenix Primary School in one of the very classrooms that I actually sat in many, many years ago. And I've got the legend himself, Sir Ronald Addison. Welcome. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, Belinda.
Now, you've been here from day dot, well, from the very, very beginning. Now, what is it about the school that you love so much?
I live in the community for a start, so I'm part of this community. Now you've got me on the spot. I just love the children here. I always have. I've always got on well with the kids here, all the parents. So I just get on well with this area, you know, these sort of people. So
you taught me, you taught my sisters, you've taught my cousins, you've taught many a friend. Now, you know, you are a legend. Where did the name Sir come from? Obviously, it's only reserved for knighthoods and things like that. Where did it come from for you?
In the initial starting of Phoenix, when we had 4 or 5 male teachers, I think, we were all called Sir. Mm-hmm. However, obviously the ladies were called Miss and Sir. So obviously over the years, all those other males have moved on and gone to greener pastures, and my title has stayed with me. Yeah. You know, I have pre-primary kids call me Sir, obviously because they hear from their parents or their cousins or... Yeah, so that's why I'm called Sir, because I'm the only remaining Sir here. Yeah. But there were 4 or 5 of us early.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I knew of Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Carr, Mr. Chidsey.
But they came later. I'm talking about the very, very first people here.
Yeah, I think you're the one and only that everybody remembers, if we're honest. Now, you have been here from the very beginning. How have things changed at the school?
Well, for a start, I think you could have seen the fence, which they've put up around the school, which a lot of people didn't agree with. I was a bit not sure about it, but once it's been put up, it's okay. We've got several new buildings, which we'll have a look at later, I hope. Education has changed quite a bit. Children have changed. This area used to be just young families starting off, like your own. Like your parents would have, you were young children, obviously, here. And they've all sort of moved further south. I think a lot of them go to Beeliar, and so now it's more of a renting area, so we get different sorts of children here.
Okay, and of course back in my day we used to use a pencil, piece of paper. Nowadays there are computers. Yes. How has that changed teaching for you?
Well, initially I had to learn how to operate a computer, not having had one in the previous times. But now all our recording is done on computers. Children have access to, we'll show you the computer lab later, where there are 30 or so computers that children are able to use. I do have some in the room, but they're older ones becoming obsolete. So bit by bit they're disappearing, but we do use them in the room quite constantly. We don't use chalk anymore, believe it or not. We've got whiteboard markers, but not chalk, so I miss my old chalk.
You had nice handwriting on that chalkboard. I remember it very, very clearly. Now, of course, the 40th anniversary is coming up.
It is.
Tell us what's in store for that.
The 40th anniversary was sort of my idea, because normally schools would wait until the 50th. Mm-hmm. But I thought, I'm not going to be here, hopefully, in 10 years. I will have retired. Mm-hmm. And I'm often asked by ex-students, when are we going to get together, or when are we going to have a reunion? So I thought the 40th would be a perfect opportunity. Yeah. On the day, which happens to be the 30th of October, which is a Friday, from 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock, this school will be open to any ex-student, parent, you name it, anyone who's ever had any association with Phoenix, to come along, have a look around. We're going to have records and archives, you know, photographs of children from 1976 onwards. around the school, so you're quite welcome to walk around and look at all these things. We're going to have a formal assembly at 2 o'clock, which means, we'll get ex-head principals to get up and give a bit of a speech. It won't be too formal. There'll be a bit of fun involved as well, but it's the formal side of the day. Following that, then you're also free to continue your wanderings, because I'm sure lots of people will want to go to their old rooms, or we're going to try and get as many of the old teachers as we can, but of course some of them are still teaching, so that makes it difficult. So we're going to hang around till 5 o'clock. We're going to have a sausage sizzle type thing. Looking at records, we're going to have a photo booth, all sorts of things are planned for that. And then that night, we are, if you wish, those who wish, we've organised at the Coburn Cricket Club at Davilac Oval to have a few drinks, a few snacks on the tables and
reminisce.
And reminisce. Will we ever? It just comes from sort of the demand of people saying to me, on the way home from the football actually, when are we going to have a reunion? So I thought the 40th was perfect. Well, it is for me because, as I said.
And talking about looking back, can you name some of your favourite memories? I know you'd have hundreds, because I know you've seen hundreds of students come through, but any top 5 favourite memories, can you think?
Well, most of mine are in the sporting field. That is the one thing about Phoenix I'll always remember is that, well, we pushed sport at this school, didn't we? Everyone was, well, not everyone, but most kids were expected to take part. Remember the old leaderball teams? You would have been, your whole family would have been in those.
We were.
I think your sister was a thrower.
Sandra
Was a good thrower. She was, that's right. And my daughter was, following on from that. So a lot of mine are associated with sport. We've had great success in soccer, athletics. We used to be a swimming school. That's no longer. AFL football, we used to have teams, but now we don't. We're too small.
Is Tommy Bottrell one of your former students?
Sorry?
Tommy Bottrell?
Tommy Bottrell.
Yeah.
The
CEO of Swan District.
Exactly. Yep. And we actually had one of our students, Jacob Surgeon, played AFL for Port Adelaide.
Wow.
So he was an old Phoenix student.
Yep.
Another one I recall is Eric Surgeon, his brother, who won, and I've donated it actually. He won the Australian Open Decathlon Championship in Sydney.
Well, we all liked you. So on that, I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to have a tour of the school. Thank you so much for chatting with us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure on my part too.